Oh, welcome everyone. Adam the Woo here. I was just fidgeting with the light inside my van. The van that I started the very first Daily Woo vlog from. And I'm here, you can see outside the windows. You can see that vacuum pump right there. And you can see the inside of my van. And a lot of people are probably wondering, do you still drive a van? I haven't seen the van in your vlogs. The V in your Vs, if you will. In a long time, the van, which is a V, and the vlogs, which is a V, the V in your Vs, which also that is a peace sign as well as a V. It's my second channel, Daily Blog channel. Does anyone remember the old TV show? And then I think they brought it back into a newer reincarnation of the show V. Does anyone remember the original V, the van, vlogs, and the original TV show? V here on TheDailyWoo. So basically, I have moved to California from Florida impulsively, I might add, because I did not actually even bring my seats with me. There are no seats here. You can see down here there's actually some brackets. That one seat goes here, and then another seat goes right here underneath where this cooler is sitting. I kind of wanted to show you an inside of the van. Got some toilet paper over here, some paper towels, curtains. Some of the curtains are still up on the windows. The curtain that goes across the front here to block anyone that's walking past the front of the van from peeking in is actually right here in a pile. There's also a curtain that goes across there. Now, what I'm wondering is, I brought this up in a past vlog, where can I get 2 bench seats, or maybe even 1 bench seat, at least 1 bench seat to go here? Because now, if I have friends, or family, or acquaintances, or even enemies, or anybody that wants to ride in my van, I can only fit 2 people in here unless somebody just lays down back here or sits on this cooler, which is probably not legal if someone was to sit there. So I'd like to get a bucket seat right there. Now, I know they do have those junkyards where they call them like not pick and play, pick and choose, pick your own area of things that you want to get from a junkyard. And I'm wondering if I could actually get a bucket bench seat from a junkyard. Oh, by the way, I got some new CDs at thrift store the other day. I picked up this Blink-182 CD here. I'm kind of getting back to my pop punk roots, I guess. So I got that for $1. I also got Alanis Morissette here. This Alanis Morissette CD. This is a CD I've had for a while. If you've never heard the band Zoinks, if you like old school Green Day style, this was released on Dr. Strange Records. Very similar kind of to old school Lookout Records, Green Day. So I got that, as well as the very first Voodoo Glow Skull CD. This is my favorite Voodoo Glow Skulls, also on Dr. Strange Records. And an unknown classic from Green Day, probably the least popular Green Day album, but one of my favorites, Warning, Live Without Warning, which is awesome. And I also got this Newfound Glory CD, which a lot of people have not heard this. This was actually the very first album where they did a lot of covers from 80s movies. It was called From the Screen to Your Stereo, Tiffany's Greatest Hits, I Think We're Alone Now. So basically, just wanted to show you the inside of the van and let you guys know that the van is still in full swing. I drive this bad boy pretty much every day. You can see Yoda chilling right there, the ghost right there. There's Big the Foot, the sunflower, which is right there. I should also let you guys know, speaking of sunflowers up there on the window, that I've actually brought back the Save the Sunflowers t-shirt on adamthewoo.spreadshirt.com. Maybe you guys would remember that. It actually was created to make light of a bad situation that I had in my life. Someone threatened me on YouTube, and they stabbed a sunflower with a knife and pretended that the sunflower was my face. Very scary, very frightening. Instead of ignoring this situation, I decided to turn it around, flip it on its head, make light of it, and make a shirt that said, Save the Sunflowers. So you can get that over on adamthewoo.spreadshirt.com. So you can notice that down in the floorboards there is a lot of dirt, a lot of dust, a lot of trash, a lot of remnants. I've actually already started to discard the plethora of water bottles, and I have been drinking water for over 3 weeks. I think today is like day 23-ish, 23, maybe even day 24. Monday would have been 3 weeks. So what does that make today? Monday would have been day 21. Tuesday, today's Wednesday, so today would be day 23 in a row, but just drinking water. And I have not cleaned my van out in so long. Before I discarded them in the trash can, there was actually some Mountain Dew remnants, some Coca-Cola remnants, and other sodas. So that is how long it has actually been since I have cleaned out the van. Drove cross-country here. I left, I believe, on the 28th of December, and I made it to California by New Year's Eve, and I was actually in the park hanging out with my good friend Justin Scard from Live Fast Die Poor, and we watched the fireworks together over the castle. It was my goal to make it here in less than 2.5 to 3 days, cross-country, and to start 2015 with a bang, if you will, with the fireworks exploding above the castle at Disneyland. And I accomplished that goal. And then once I got out there, I said, heck it, I should just keep roaming around. But then I thought to myself, a double heck it, hashtag double heck it. I should actually just find a place and focus on Southern California for a while, because there is so much to film here, so many movie locations. And speaking of movie locations, I have actually been harnessing my goals and my brain into a lot of filming locations. I probably have about 15 or 20 filming locations that I will be working on in the very near future. I have a laundry list of filming locations that I will be doing main channel videos for on the TheDailyWoo channel, so stay tuned for that. So I figured after 3 years on the road, I should probably settle down, plant myself in one particular place. And since Disneyland is here, since I love Disneyland, and since I love movies, and Hollywood is not too far from here, probably a 30-minute drive, this was the place I decided to settle. Now, that does not mean I'm going to be here forever. I might only stay 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I will probably not live here for the rest of my life. But instead of me traveling around, sleeping in a van, having a police officer knock on the door when I'm sleeping in a parking lot in the middle of the night and telling me to get lost and get out of here, a lot of difficulty and a lot of troubles come with sleeping in a vehicle in a public parking lot or a non-public area. It's actually very cool. If you ever get the chance to do a road trip and sleep in a car, sleep in a vehicle, I highly encourage you to do this. I did it for a very, very, very long time, and I'm sure I will do it again. The beauty of having a van this size, the unbeautiful thing is the fact that gas is continually going up still. It did go down for a little bit, but it goes up very high. So when you're driving a van like this, it gets 12 to 15 miles per gallon, maybe 17 on the freeway or the interstate if you're driving 55 miles an hour. The downfall is gas is so expensive that you spend a heck of a lot of money driving around, even sleeping in the van, which is very difficult. So I had to come up with a decision where I thought either I spend money in the van driving, spending all that money, or I could put that money towards staying in a hotel. Sometimes, depending on the distance I was driving, getting a $25 to $30 cheap hotel was actually cheaper, less expensive than actually driving around and sleeping in the van. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense, but when you add the gas mileage up, it kind of worked out the same way. But I'm going to hang on to this van basically until it croaks. This thing has been good to me. It's got probably about 100, I don't know, maybe 130,000. Actually, it might actually have more miles on it than that. Let me crank the van up, see how many miles are on this bad boy. And actually, I think I actually lowballed it. Let's see. It has 177,589 177,589 miles. So 178,000 miles to the gallon. Wow, I said 130,000. I was definitely very low on that estimate because I have not checked my mileage in a while. So that's how many miles are on the van. I'm trying to answer some questions a lot of people have asked about the van. Spent 3 years sleeping in this bad boy, traveling across the country. I'm going to be going across the country on other trips, probably flying, not driving the van, because as you can tell, the mileage is starting to get up there, and with gas being so expensive, I will probably take the route of actually flying to places. A few places I want to go in November is back to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and Pigeon Forge, which is where Dollywood is. Gatlinburg does a really awesome event where they close the streets down. I think it's November 11th, where they do a chili cook-off. I love the aquarium there. I love all the Ripley stuff. I love Dollywood. I love Pigeon Forge. I love that whole area. So I'm planning on being in Gatlinburg for around a week to 10 days, hopefully during that chili cook-off on November 11th. I know it's a long ways off, but if you're in that area, I will hopefully be there, as well as first weekend of September. I think it's the first week of September is an event called Dragon Con that I go to. The last 2 years I've been. This will be my third year. I need to book a plane flight, probably from LAX to Atlanta. I'm hopefully going to be getting into Atlanta on the Wednesday before Dragon Con, staying Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe even Monday, at least 5, maybe 6 days, or probably 5 days. I am going to do my best to be at Dragon Con, so if you're in Atlanta, I will be seeing you at Dragon Con. I think it's the first weekend of September. They normally do it the last weekend of August, but they pushed it to the first weekend of September. Floridians, St. Cloud, Orlando area Floridians, where I moved from. I need to talk to my parents. I do not know what they have planned for Christmas, but I am planning on flying back around December-ish, maybe for the holidays, depending on what they have planned. But I will probably be going back to St. Cloud the end of the year, in December, around that time. So we have Dragon Con, September. We have Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, 1st of November. And then mid-December to late December, most likely, do not hold this to me, but that's probably my tentative plans, are to be in the Orlando, Florida, Central Florida area. St. Cloud, my former hometown that I lived in since 1991 until 2015, till the end of 2014. I will be returning there to hang out with some friends, my family, and other things of that nature. So that's my plan. Between now and those flight plans, I will be driving down to San Diego. I've been wanting to go down to San Diego, which is only about 2 hours from here. I need to plan a 1 or 2 day trip, maybe a weekend trip, go down there, do some filming stuff, some abandoned stuff, some wacky roadside attraction stuff for the main channel, the TheDailyWoo channel. So I have a lot on my plate. A lot of people have been asking, what are you going to do now that you're out in California? The movie locations, like I mentioned before, are going to be very prominent. You're going to be inundated on YouTube/TheDailyWoo with plenty of filming locations, as well as those road trips coming up. It's going to be a very good year. I'm still getting my feet wet, if you will, here in California, still learning the ropes, still learning how it all works, still learning my way around here, still trying to cope with Los Angeles traffic. I talked to a friend in Florida the other day who was complaining. Yes, they were complaining about traffic in Orlando. Now, I know a lot of people in Orlando are probably watching this, and other people in other what they assume to be major metropolis areas are complaining on a daily basis about traffic. I will never complain about Orlando traffic ever again in my entire life, because I have learned that Los Angeles traffic is insane. No joke, absolutely insane. From here, where I am right now currently at this car wash, right here at this car wash next to these vacuums, from here to LA is only about 20 to 25 miles. And if I was to leave right now, depending on when it is, if you leave during rush hour or during lunchtime or during the evening rush hour, so let's say between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m., and then noon to 1, which would be the lunch break, and then from 4 p.m. when people are starting to get off work till about 7, those would be the rush hour busy times for Los Angeles traffic. So going that 25 miles would take you no less than an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half. Now you're saying, that is not feasible. Where I am from, when I drive 20 miles, it takes 20 minutes. So in my past, when I was younger, or when I lived in Florida, when someone would say, how far is that? And they would say 30 minutes. I knew they were referring to 30 miles. So if I was to say to you, hey, Los Angeles is 25 minutes away, you would assume 25 miles. But I would never say that to you, because you cannot physically get from here to downtown Los Angeles, which is like approximately 25 miles away in 25 minutes, unless you are a bird and you are flying over the traffic. So that's what we are dealing with here in Los Angeles. So a lot of people will say, you should do more vlogs from Los Angeles. I try to get up there as much as possible, but man, the traffic is intense. There's so much. I have a book that I've actually written down. I'm all over the place today. I have a book that I've written down and it says, write it down and go do it. It's a very thick, blue binded book that I got a few months ago. I took a Sharpie and I wrote, write it down, then go do it on the front of it. That keeps me motivated. I have a huge list of vlog ideas that I will be getting to very shortly. A few days ago, I did a vlog talking about stressful things that I had in my life, 4 or 5 things. All that stress is now completed and done and finished. And now it is time to push forward and start getting, I don't say back on track, but getting the ball rolling even faster. The ball never stopped rolling, but it's about to speed up. You know how in Indiana Jones, when that ball is chasing him and it gets faster and faster and faster? That's what we're dealing with here. The vlogs are going to get more intense. The main channels are going to be more prevalent and more often. Right now I'm uploading about 1 main channel a week, anywhere from 3 to 4 main channel videos a month. I am going to assure you that that is going to probably not quite double, but at least the percentage is going to get up. I would like to get to the point where I'm putting out about 6, maybe 7 main channel videos a month. And now that I have my feet planted and my roots are now re-springing here in California, I have a place, I have a decent vehicle here that even though it has a lot of miles, runs very well, and I'm starting to learn my way around here. I have a lot of plans, and I really appreciate you guys joining me on this. I have talked basically about nothing. This was supposed to be about my van and how much I love this dirty thing that I'm about to vacuum out. I don't know why I showed you the CDs, but I was trying to give you a little bit more insight. There's Salvador right there. Salvador Dali. I got him at the Salvador Dali Museum. There's Mr. Fusion here. I believe Brian Buckley gave me that sticker right there. I've stuck that. It's been there for quite some time. Here is a pin of my former band from Florida, The New Threat. I've been in a few bands. Let's talk about bands. The first band I was ever in was a band called Hidden Children from 2001 to 2002. And then from 2002 to 2003, I was in a band called Alias Clark, which coincidentally, that band will actually be releasing their album. The album that I recorded on, that I was in, that I helped mold and formulate, will be up on iTunes probably in a couple weeks. I will have more information about that soon. After Alias Clark broke up in 2003, I started this band, The New Threat, which actually, that album is actually available up on iTunes currently, so just look up The New Threat. So Hidden Children was first, then Alias Clark, then The New Threat, and then after that, I joined the band Guttermouth from here in California. Guttermouth still tours. They just got back from Australia. I am not a part of that band anymore, even though I'm still friends with all those guys. I have decided to focus my energy more on you guys and focus my energy more on vlogging and main channel videos and putting my attention and trying to put more, better, greater content out into the world, positive content to you guys to watch. So I am no longer currently in a band. I'm not playing music. My bass guitars are actually back in Florida at my mom's house. I did not bring those up. So I have 2 bass guitars that aren't even in my possession. The last time I even touched a guitar was actually July of last year. So July 1st of this year coming up will be 1 full year I've not even touched an instrument. So even though I'm doing this water cleanse, I'm also doing a music cleanse, if you will. I'm trying not to play any instruments, trying to focus my energy on other things, and it is working. I may at one point out here start a band, which leads me to another point. We're talking about a lot of subjects in this. If you play music and you're in California, maybe we should start a band together. I don't know when. Right now, I don't know when. I don't know how, but I'm not starting a band right now. I'm not a singer. I'm a bass player, so do not hold that against me, or the Little Mermaid song against me as well. I have a lot of guilty pleasures. Obviously, pop punk CDs that I actually listed off at the beginning, as well as Disney fandom and Disney songs like The Little Mermaid. So, we've talked about a lot, yet we've talked about nothing. This one goes out to all those who keep saying, show the inside of the van. So your request has now been fulfilled. Here's the inside of the van. Leave some comments about where I can probably get some seats for this bad boy and get this thing rolling. I probably should take these curtains down at some point. Maybe not. Maybe I'll leave them up. So basically, when I would sleep in here, I would put the air mattress here, right over here. I put some kind of cushionings over there so this would not puncture or poke the air mattresses and put a hole in there. And I would sleep right in here, right inside this cooler was where I had my food and my beverages and my liquid. All right, I need to get out of the van and probably vacuum the van out. So I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for listening to my rambling, incoherent nonsense. I hope I've shared some things with you that you did not know about. Sometimes with these vlogs, I get in the pattern of saying kind of the same things each day. I show a lot of the same types of things, whether it be theme parks, abandoned locations, filming locations. By the way, it's free to subscribe. But other than that, sometimes I forget to actually bring you guys a little bit closer into my life, what my passions are, what my day-to-day or week-to-week or month-to-month things that I'm interested are, because everyone has interests that change on a daily basis. There are some things that we keep in our lives forever, but there are some things that conveniently change from time to time. So I'm going to try to add more personal stuff into these vlogs. By the way, you might be wondering what these pins are. This pen I got a while back. It's a John Lennon pen. This one here, Namius from Flurbex gave me this a long time ago. A good friend of mine, Adam, that's me, and that's Mickey Mouse. And here's a plethora of other pens friends have given me. There's Paul McCartney. Here's the Abita Mystery House pen, a main channel video, Adam the Woo, main channel. Look that one up. That's kind of a rarity that a lot of people have not seen that video, the Abita Mystery House. Here's a pen that a friend of mine in Indiana made for me. There's George Michael. Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. That's from the album Faith right there. And here's Arnold right there. Come on, there's an Arnold pin. Come on, Bennett. Come on, Bennett. Stick a knife in me. Look into my eyes. See what's going on in there when you tan it. And of course, there's E.T. and Maleficent. There's someone outside the window right there in that van that is probably thinking, Arnold is inside that van, and they're probably calling the police because they think there is a psychotic, drunk Arnold inside the van. That's right. Call the police. Come on. See if I care. Call them. Do it. Do it now.